I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
The Shame Report with Gabriel Cheadle reporting.
There's a cold winter's breeze in the air. The former president just got shot in the head. That means football is right around the corner. And with football, the Shame Report. Don't be angry with me if you're on this list, players and coaches. Ultimately, I didn't put you on this list. You put you on this list. Now, let it begin!
On this year's Get Out of Shame free card, we have our one and only Will Ferrell. No, not that Will Ferrell. Our Will Ferrell. Yes, Will, you did fail to make the playoffs this year for your first time. And yes, Will, your text messages are dementia-ridden mashed potatoes of words. You probably missed the playoffs because you were so busy preparing Biden for that debate. Ouch. But unlike Biden, you're not thrown into the ocean somewhere and replaced with a body double. No, we still have you. We still have you gracing our league with your presence, Will, and we thank you for saving it. As a matter of fact, on the same side of that Get Out of Shame free card, let's bring it back. We have it going to you, Bethany. Bethany, a lot of people say you were just let into the league because of the Rudy rule, to get ahead of the cancel culture. But no, we know that's not true. Any original member of this league knows we let you in because we were worried about the quality of charcuterie and appetizers that we would have at the draft, and we felt we needed a woman's touch. But then you saved us from Bill wiping out the league at the last game of the year last year, strapped on that Iron Man's glove, and you saved us all. You are truly our Iron Man, or Iron Woman. And that, Bethany, we thank you. Now let's get into the shame. At number 3 this year, we have all of us, or none of us. Let's read some statistics and dive into this. There is 8 billion people on the earth. There's 334 million people in the United States. And we can't seem to find 12 people that are honest about trying to stay in a group chat that has 70 text messages a day. Yes, Sachi, I'm not specifically talking about you. Now we're talking about Brandon. Of course, Brandon did have the excuse. That did work. He said multiple times throughout the beginning of last season, he'd be trying to preach to the church, and he couldn't read his notes anymore because Stacy's text messages were going all the way to the bottom of the screen. He would end up calling Abraham a little squirrel, or he would end up reading one of the exciting updates that Stacy gives us, like Tank Dell out for the season, or Henry Ruggs just ran over somebody in a car. Yes, Stacy, we've told you a million times, you don't need to tell us those. We already get notifications for it. And if we got a notification for it, we're trying to trade with Dean before he figures out. Well, anyway, you can't cut off the beak to save the face. Brandon, the most you can mess with the group chat is what Brian does. By having an Android and turning all of our thought bubbles green, claiming it's to save money, even though he buys a new Android every 6 months because something went wrong with it. Well, anyway, Brandon, you're out of here. Enter the chat, Michael Lopes, another Michael coming out of the factory. Michael's an original member of this league, 30 to 40 years before most of you got here. And Michael has had a ton of success in our league. And we're super happy to have you back, Michael Lopes. As a matter of fact, as the commissioner, I'm going to make a little prediction for those of you that don't know Michael. Just like mirroring the career of Lance Armstrong, Michael's going to win a ton of championships, do really good, retire 2 years, like he did, for various excuses, whether it be he didn't like BLM in the end zone, political, children, whatever. But he's back, and I'm going to say, just like Lance Armstrong, in 2 years, he'll be re-kicked out for letting himself go in drug abuse. And Michael, since you are back, I do want to introduce you to a couple of the members of the league you haven't met yet. Stand-up men. So obviously not you, Bethany, because you're a woman. Cameron Bodell. Cameron Bodell just started his first year at the University of British Columbia. So shout out to Cameron. Here's a picture of Cameron, just in case you don't know. Whoa, Cameron. I don't know if it's Canada or the university, but something's got to you. And we also have another member that started his first year at college. Shout out to Dean, the mean Dean. Here you go, Dean. He started at the Utes. Let's go Utes. Let's go Utah. Dean, you gotta get a different side job, man. You can't be working at 7-Eleven. And then another thing is we have Brian in our league. He's been in our league for quite a while, and he just asked his girlfriend to marry him. So congratulations to Brian. Here we have a photo of all the guys in our league. I'll circle Brian so you can tell which one Brian is. So welcome, Michael Lopes. We're happy to have you, and we're happy to shame you. At number 2, we have you, Jason Lopes, for making the worst trade in our league's history. Last year, Jason traded Christian McCaffrey before the even season started, and Christian McCaffrey went on to score the most points probably in fantasy football history.
Now let him have it!
You can have it. Say thanks.
Jason, you need to change your team name to the Redskins, because last year was a trail of tears for you. Luckily, we have a league of experienced traders here, and I expect every one of us to jump onto Jason as soon as the draft's over and try to get that killer deal unlocked from how Jason seems to ruin his chances every year. Jason, you probably have a good chance at winning the league if you quote my father on this. If you just stopped and think before you do. So you know what, Jason? Shame on you. Number 1 in the brown paper bag of shame before I go enjoy my time floating down this river. Oh, hold on. Let's congratulate Tommy, an important member of our league. Ever faithful and ever trusting. Tommy, you bring so much value to our league with your analysis, with your pie graphs, and with your paragraph-long essays that you send to us. Tommy, you know what? I want to break down on a chart that I'll try to throw up on the screen here how valuable you are to us. See that? Yeah, that's the hours that you put in, Tommy. You know what? Let's crunch the numbers and see how much, with your recent winnings, you get paid. Huh. That's 11 cents an hour for the past 10 years, Tommy. You know, you're kind of like those high schoolers that get minimum wage job and don't realize that they're the actual manager. Well, kudos to whoever the manager is, which I guess in this case, that's me. But you know what, Tommy? You need to protect yourself from the blue lights of the computer. And I think you need to protect yourself. Yeah, scratch what we were going to do. You need to protect yourself with this. It's the brown paper bag of shame. Shame, shame, shame.
No!
And you know what? Until next year, players and coaches, try not to embarrass yourself.